Hello guys, today we will be seeing the second assignment of web technology and it is for HTML programming and using CSS and XML in it. Okay, so the objective of this lab assignment is to understand the basic concept of HTML, XML and CSS. We have gone through detailed study about all these things in your unit as well, in first unit and second unit, and the basic concepts in programming are applied in this assignment. So the problem statement of this assignment is to write a program to design registration form for students by using the HTML and CSS. So we all know HTML will focus on code while as CSS focuses on the presentation, right? So we'll deal with that in this assignment, and the outcome of this is to design static web page using that HTML and applying CSS to HTML pages. And software requirement is as usual notepad and browser. Whenever you are dealing with HTML programming, then you need just a notepad for writing your code. That file you will store with the .html extension, and that will be executed on the browser. So these are your minimal software requirements. And moving to the theory concept, what HTML is, just we are revising the sessions. Okay, so HTML is standard markup language for creating the web pages, and it stands for hypertext markup language. So it describes the structure of web pages using markup, and the elements are building blocks of the HTML pages. So HTML elements are represented by the tags, and the HTML tags label pieces of content such as heading, paragraphs, table and so on. So all these tags we have already seen in many programs in your class as well, but here we are just revising all those things, okay, as we are studying basic concepts of HTML. And browsers do not display the HTML tags, but they use them to render the content of pages, and the versions that can be used of HTML are so many, but up to 2014 here they are given in table format. We can see the HTML5 is from the 2014 version, okay, that is from installed from 2014 year. And talking about the CSS, it stands for cascading style sheets, and it focuses on design part. Okay, it is nothing but design language that is intended to simplify the process of making web pages presentable, and it handles the feel and look part of the web page. So by using that CSS, you can control the color of text, you can style the fonts or spacing between the paragraphs or layout designs, and it is so much easier than any other languages because it is easy to learn, easy to understand, and it also provides some powerful control on presentation so that you can use them on your HTML documentation part. And if you are talking about the advantages of CSS, it saves the time. Pages will be loaded faster, and maintenance is very much easier in this, and the superior styles to HTML can be applied with this. Then the multiple device compatibility is also provided with CSS. Global web standards are there, offline browsing is also possible, and platform independence is the best advantage. Then CSS3 modules are also there as the next version of your CSS, and they are having old CSS specifications plus extension features. So as extension, they are allowing us to box models, selectors, background, border, image values and replaced content, then text effects plus animations, or 2D 3D transformations, then multiple column layouts and user interfaces. So all these features are provided in your CSS3 module, okay, and along with the basic CSS specifications. So while looking to the technological part or technological tool from this, we will see we are uh, focusing on the registration form, right? So what things we may need in the program, that we will see here, or which elements that can be used for creating that simple form that are given here. Okay, so first, that heading, we start with HTML documentation part is doc type HTML, right? So that doc type HTML is declaration that defines this document to be HTML5. Then the HTML element is root element of any HTML page. Head element, it contains meta information about the document. The title element will specify title. Body element will contain the visible part or visible page contents, and h1 to h6 are our headings. Okay, so h1 is the largest and h6 is the smallest heading size, and the p, that will define the paragraphs, and other HTML tags are just element names surrounded by the angle brackets. So whatever tag we want to create, that will be tag name, the contents, and close the tag name. Okay, and that tags should be written in the angle brackets. Then the CSS can be added to HTML elements in 3 ways. Okay, so main concept of this assignment is adding CSS to the HTML page. So this CSS can be added to HTML page using 3 ways. Okay, that is inline, internal, and external. So in inline, what we do, by using this style attribute in HTML elements, an inline CSS is used to apply a unique style to single HTML element. Okay, if you want to present or just modify or just design any single element of HTML, then you will use this inline function or inline CSS. Like for example, we'll see if you have used the heading, and that is the largest heading with h1 tag, h1, this is blue heading, and close that heading, and now you want to execute the same heading with some presentation or with blue color. You want to give that heading a color, and that color is blue. That means you want to make something presentable about this heading, right? So what you will do, you will use that inline CSS, because for single element you want to design that thing. So what you will do, after starting your h1 tag in angle bracket, in the same angle bracket before closing, you will add style equals to, in double quotes, color colon blue semicolon and double quote close and angle bracket close. Means in h1 tag you will use that style tag as well. Okay, and just go on with your heading part, that is this is blue heading, and close this heading. So this will provide you the message as well, that is this is blue heading with the color blue. Now if you want that internal CSS, how it is usable, that you will see. By using the style element in the head section, an internal CSS is used to define a style for single HTML page. The inline function was for single element, while internal CSS is for single HTML page, and an internal CSS is defined in the head section of HTML page within the style element. So we'll see with the example. Here we have started the style element. It is again like your other tags surrounded by angle brackets, and in body you can see here that body part, you have given the style as background color, that is powder blue, H1 color is blue, and P color is red. Okay, so you want to give different colors or different styles to all these things, that is to body part, H1 part, that is heading, and your paragraph part. Okay, so that you can give with the same tag, that is in style tag. Okay, you have entered all these things, and the parts that you are applying are different, that is body part is different, your heading is different section, and paragraph is different section. So all these things are different, but you have combined them in a style part. Okay, that is style tag, and you are applying the things that you want to present. So this will give you output as the body part, whatever contents will be there, they will be in powder blue color, while your heading will be in blue color, and paragraph will be, or paragraph contents will be in red color. Then the third and important concept about CSS is external CSS. So by using an external CSS file, an external style sheet is used to define the style for many HTML pages, and with an external style sheet you can just change the look of entire website by changing one file. So to use an external style sheet, add a link to it in the head section of HTML page. So you might have came across the difference between these three things, that is inline, internal, and external. So inline will focus or will change the format of single element, while internal is for whole HTML page, while external is focusing on the complete website. Okay, so just for external, as the name suggests, you have to insert that file in your HTML page in the head section, so that the link should be provided in your HTML program. Like example, you can see link rel, that is relation for whatever you can use, equals to style sheet, href equals to styles.css, and that file should be with .css extension. Then using that HTML head element to store style and link elements, use CSS color property for text colors, use CSS font family property for text fonts. These are the things that we are going to use in your program, so that just given in short concepts. Then use CSS font size property for text sizes, CSS border for borders, CSS padding for space inside the border. Okay, inside border, if you want to give some space, might be from left or from right, or up and down as well, means top and bottom as well. Okay, for that property you can use that padding and margin. Okay, so margin property is for space outside the border, and CSS is for inside border. Okay, so about designing and execution steps, we need to follow few things, that is you have to write HTML code in Notepad and save with .html extension, write CSS code in Notepad and save with .css extension, import that CSS file in HTML page. That means we are using external CSS property here. Okay, and open HTML page in the browser, that is you will execute the process, and the manual testing will be used for checking whether that CSS gets applied or not. Okay, and this is your program code. So registration form .html is the name of our HTML program, And what we have done, we have just started with the HTML element, and in head section we have given the title, that is reg form, that is registration form, and link we have provided. So that link is for linking your .css file in your HTML program. Okay, so link href equals to samp.css, rel equals to style sheet, and close that link. So this link should be given inside your head section, and that is provided in head section here as well. Then close that head section and start the body tag. In body tag we have used directives class con and form action display.html, method is get align center. Then directive class con2, there we have used that image, that image source is handshake.jpg, and we have given some width and height for same image. Then close the directive tag. Again the directive class main, and in that we are using the table property. So the table property, again it will start with the table element, table align equals to center. At center we want to display some tabular contents. So table row, table data will be break, like it should be given in bold, that is welcome to registration page. That title we have firstly given, and close that table. Then again we have used that con1 class and table for properties, or for the thing that we want to take as input. So for that we have used that table row. In that table data will be full name, input type will be text, and value can be blank, whatever things you want to enter. Then close that input type and close the first row. Then for the second row, what we will do, that data will be class and input type will be text, value will be empty. Then department, same things are applied, that is input type is text, value is blank. Then address, text area we have provided, and that is text area row for 3 and column as 2. This is about your table. And then email, for that also again your input type is text, phone number, it can be text or it can be numbers, so it should be in numbers only, you can write there as numbers. Okay, and then again for that next table you have to align that table as center. Input type is submit, value will be equals to submit, and the value can be resetted, so that you have provided a reset button or the cancel button. So in that way the table form is created and the HTML code processes end. And then we'll see about this CSS file. So CSS file is focusing on your presentation. So what it will do, sam.css. So with .con we will start our program. So .con we have used as our class directive. Okay, so we might have seen in program, that is con1 we have used, .con we have used, con2 also we have used. So all that coding must be present in your .css file. So we have for con, simple con, we have provided width and height as 400 pixel, background color as blue, simple color as blue. Again padding is 0 pixels, 10 pixels, 0 pixels, 10 pixels. This is the just format you have to include, and the margins will be auto. So difference between padding and margins, again, so padding is distance from your border to inside text, whereas margins is from border to outside page margin. Okay, and dot main for that dot con is again with width 400 pixels, height you have provided as 80 pixels, float down left side, and padding 60 pixels, 10 pixels, 10 pixels, and again into 10 pixels. So margin is auto, and same coding we have given for con 1 and con 2 as well. Okay, so what we'll do that in con 1 the width is given as 200 pixels, height for 30 pixels, and you have given new thing that is float on left and margin as auto. After that the padding is 0 pixels. Okay, and same for con 2 as well, width is 150 pixels, height is 30 pixels, float on left, margin again 10 pixels from all the sides, and padding as 0 pixels. Okay, now for displaying the contents we will write another file, that is display.css, that is html head, title is display, and close that head section, and body will be started as h1 style equals to color blue, margin left with 30 pixels points, and you have submitted the form successfully. Okay, so this notice or this congratulations message will be displayed after executing the things that are given in the registration form and submitting it to the server. Okay, so your sample output will be, you can see the sample handshake image we have used, that link we have provided with image src, that is here. Welcome to the registration page, that heading is also present with the bold text, then the full name, class, department, address, email, phone number, all these things are provided with the text areas, and the submit and cancel buttons are also given. Okay, so in this way you can just design your html page and apply that css to the file. So here we can say that the css file we have created successfully and linked it in your html program. So this was the main outcome of our practical, and so hence we have designed static web pages using html and css. Okay, so in next session we will see the third assignment, that will be our xml and css file. Okay, so before that some oral questions that can be related with this assignment are given here, like what is the difference between html and html5, then difference between again the html elements and tags, what is marquee, then use of span tag, you have to give example as well, use of required attribute in html5, what is external style sheet, what are the advantages and disadvantages, what is css selector, what are the components of css style, and what are the browser safe color. So all these things can be asked as your oral questions for the same practical. Okay, just prepare all these things. The questions are also covered with your class assignment plus class notes as well. Okay, so prepare well and try to execute the programs. Okay, till that just take care, we'll meet in the next session. Thank you.